Hello and welcome everyone to this brand new series where we'll explore anything and everything happening in the AI space, from hot new frameworks, latest AI tools, understanding core concepts, to building real world applications. And today, for the first video to kick off this series, we are choosing something very hot. This is something that many people have heard of, but some don't really understand, and it's one of the most important features in the AI space right now. And as you can see on my screen, we are talking about MCP, Model Context Protocol. So before we even get near any server or any integration, let's get all the theoretical information out there first, because this will also clear any doubts in your minds. So what does this word protocol mean in this whole context of Model Context Protocol? Because whenever we hear this word, we sometimes don't get the gist of it. It's not an application, it's not a client, it's not an SDK, or it's not a language. Protocol basically means a set of rules or a standard way of doing something, and so is MCP. MCP is an open source protocol for AI integration or AI integration into our applications. It's a set of rules, it's a standard design that all MCP servers and all MCP clients have to follow and have to be compatible with to communicate with each other. And this thing was released in November 2024, and it really introduced a seamless connection of our AI LLMs like Google Gemini, OpenAI ChatGPT, or Anthropic Claude, or any other LLM with our existing applications in the world. When I say existing applications, it can be anything like database or your music application or your calendar or your email. Anything in the world can now be connected with AI using MCP server and an MCP client. One small thing that I would like to clear before moving forward is that what does it mean to create an MCP server for an application? Like for example, MongoDB. MongoDB is one of the most famous NoSQL databases. So what will it mean to create an MCP server for MongoDB? What it actually means is that MongoDB will create a standardized endpoint where any MCP compatible application, AI application, can communicate through. So any AI application that is compatible with MCP or Model Context Protocol can now come to this endpoint and search for the tools and services available and communicate to it through common language. So this is the main power that MCP provides us. But again, another question arises: why all of this? Why develop a whole protocol for connecting AI to an application? So before MCP, there was no, OG way of, or a standard way of connecting an AI LLM to any application. Before MCP, if you wanted to connect any LLM with your application or with any other application, there has to be a custom development. The development has to be from the scratch. Anything developed was only for that application and not a standard. So developers were wasting a lot of time. There were like 100 SDKs, 100 integrations just to integrate, a ChatGPT or a Gemini into our database. And another development was ChatGPT into emails. But after MCP, there is a standard communication protocol and out of the box connectivity that made all of this very, very easy. So now we need to know what is happening behind the scene, what is the architecture, and what are the components involved. So as you can see on the screen, we have these four main components that are involved in this ecosystem. First is user, that is you and me. Second is MCP host. It is a host that hosts any AI application or hosts any LLMs. It can be Cloud Desktop, it is a Visual Studio Code with extensions or codecs, or any of your React AI chatbot applications. Second is MCP client, and MCP client is a library or an SDK or a small application inside your host that speaks the MCP protocol. Now, the host itself has many users. It has It's LLM integrations. You can talk to LLM. It might have settings, memory, and everything. And along all of those things is an MCP client, which implements this MCP protocol to talk to servers. And talking of servers, the last component is MCP Server, which provides external tools and sources that will help you, use natural language, use just queries, use prompts, and get your information or perform any task, search emails, summarize emails, create a playlist. To be honest, any application that can be connected or created as an MCP server, and if you have an MCP client, you can just talk with that application via prompts now. So this is what MCP has done for us. So now getting into the layering part of MCP and what is inside it. So MCP has two layers. One is data layer and one is transport layer. They both implement and carry out features of JSON RPC 2.0. To know more about this JSON RPC 2.0 protocol, I'll paste the link in the description. You can go and read. The first layer, data layer, actually defines this JSON RPC 2.0 protocol, and it structures the message and it does the lifecycle management. Another layer is the transport layer, which handles all the communication, secures the communication, and it handles the transport. There are two types of transport. One is STDIO transport and a streamable HTTP transport. So STDIO transport is for your local setups. When I say setups, it basically means your local MCP server. So if you create a local MCP server, you will be using STDIO transport, which is very, very fast, no overhead. The second is for the remote MCP servers, which is the streamable HTTP transports with a little bit of, network overhead, but that's understandable. So this was the layering part of it. And now, after this, we dig deep into the projects. I think that's enough theoretical knowledge, and I really hope that you understand the behind the scenes of how MCP ecosystem works. And now let's get our hands dirty, and we'll start with something very simple today that anyone can follow. If you are a technical person or even if you are a non-technical person. The only goal here is to show you the power of MCP, how it actually integrates AI with applications. And the problem statement is one of my personal ones, is of creating playlist on Spotify, because for some reason I really don't have a good algorithm and I really don't get good playlists. So I'll solve that using Claude AI and giving access to my Spotify. So let's begin. The first thing you need is Claude Desktop. Go to File. On the top left corner, you can see this hamburger. So just go to File and Settings. Now from where you will connect your MCP to your Claude AI depends. There are two ways of doing it. One is via this interface and another one is by editing the configuration file. If you want to do that, if you're comfortable with that, I'll show that in the next video. But for now, since this is for everyone, let's go to the connectors. And in the connectors, if anyone has already done it, well and good. Now you know the behind the scenes of it. It will send us to the customize page. And here are the connectors. It recommends you the popular connectors already. So click on plus, this add connector icon, and I'll just add custom connector. Now it will ask you for the name. So I'll say Spotify connector, or let's say Spotify MCP server. Now it will ask you for a remote MCP server URL. Now where to get this is, just open your browser, go to mcpservers.org. What this website is, basically a collection of MCP servers. You can find so many servers here actually for anything. As you can see, web scraping, communication, productivity, marketing, design, memory, anything. So let's search for Spotify. And here you are. Remote server matches is Spotify. Let's click on this. I think this is the official server for Spotify. So here is the URL. And if you are doing it with CLI, there is this Claude MCP add command. Same for Codex and same for Cursor and same for Visual Studio Code. So let's copy this server address, paste it here. auth, client ID, client secret. Actually, when you create a developer account, you can give that, or you can just skip it because it will automatically authenticate you via the browser. Let's add it. And these are the tools that are now available to Claude AI. Create playlist, search Spotify, get current playing, add to library, fetch playlist, and remove from library. So this is an official MCP server. Let's go back. Now let's chat with AI about our music or creating AI playlists. So what I want is create a banging and vibey music playlist that consists of 50 songs that I can hear while working out or while showering. I don't recommend you prompting it like this. There are better prompting methods, but I'm choosing the one that, sometimes you're on your phone and you want a playlist, and that's how you give a prompt. So let's do it. Let's see what happens. And there you go. Claude wants to use create playlist from Spotify MCP server. It had already created a prompt. Create a high energy vibey 50 song workout and shower playlist with banging hits, mix of pump up anthems, upbeat pop, hip hop, blah blah blah. And the artists here are these artists. So it asks you, human in the loop, always allow. I'll just allow it once. Let's see what happens. And now it says authentication required to use this tool, obviously. So I'll click on connect. It will redirect me to my browser. And wants to open this application, I'll click on. Now it has connected with my Spotify. Actually, I was already logged into my Spotify on my browser, so it didn't take much time or any permissions. And there it is. Workout and shower banger mix with all these songs. And it says your workout and shower banger mix is ready and live on your Spotify. It's packed with 50 high energy tracks. So let's see this playlist. There's a direct link. I'll open. And it opens our Spotify, and there is our playlist with 50 songs, workout and shower banger mix. So you see, it took me just 2 minutes to integrate a remote MCP server into my Claude AI. And this is it for this video. In the next video, we'll get more technical, and the next video will be for developers, where we create our own MCP server from our legacy application to integrate AI into our legacy applications actually. So stay tuned, and please, if you like this, do like, share and subscribe. Bye.